Fallout 4 has a plethora of ways to play. You could choose to use melee weapons and shotguns to get up close and personal, snipers to take out enemies from a distance, or pistols, grenades, and rifles to go guns blazing. But what if we beat Fallout 4 by only giving people head? That's the video title? That's what we're going with. I'm fine with it. That's what we're going with. Alright, whatever. I name myself Mrs. Handy for the jobs I do, and go ahead and pick out my stats. Before I explain them, I need to explain what the weapon is for this run, before these stats make sense. So let me explain why I run through the opening section. The Assaultron head is the head of an Assaultron. By pressing the reload button, we can charge up the laser to a total of 5 ammo per shot for higher damage. The other quirk of this weapon is that when you fire it, you take 50 rad damage, which caps maximum health. So we have a weapon that hurts us with every attack. I've never done that run before. The rad damage could have been easily negated with power armor or a rad suit, but that's boring and takes the challenge out of the challenge run. So instead, I want to make a full build based on this weapon while wearing no armor and playing on the hardest difficulty, very hard. So, back to my stats. I picked 1 strength as I wasn't going to be carrying much and there was no melee in this run, 4 perception for basic locksmithing if I needed it, 8 endurance for perks like Life Giver, Aqua Grill, Rad Resistant, Ghoulish, and Solar Powered, 4 charisma, 6 int for medic, 1 agility for gunslinger as the head is counted as a non-automatic pistol, and 4 luck, plus the special book for Idiot Savant. Now that I made it through the opening and have the weapon, we can start the run. In Sanctuary, I start scrapping everything wood related for Idiot Savant farming, and help Codsworth look for my son while testing out the weapon. A huge negative for this run was the weapon aimed would take up a third of my screen, which made it incredibly hard for me to tell where the laser was going to be shooting out of. Within just leaving Sanctuary, my health was already halved and it wasn't getting better anytime soon. Rad resistant perks were a while away, and Radaway and Rad-X were scarce at the moment, so we really had to play it safe. I went to try and take on a few raiders, and yeah, it wasn't going to go well. Very hard, plus capped health was rough at the beginning. Along with the weapon was incredibly precise, meaning that I would often miss by a hair. After dealing with the bandits, I was only left with about 20% of my health left. Great. I try helping out Trudy with her raider problem, and after a death, we can take the bandits out. The damage is great, 1 to 2 shotting most stuff at the current moment. So right now, we're pretty much just a glass cannon. We're able to buy a Radaway, and we also get our first level up, which we put into Idiot Savant. Back in Sanctuary, we can spam wooden fence posts for easy XP. At the end, we had 2 more levels, and I went ahead and got 9 endurance for the Ghoulish perk, which makes it when I take inevitable rad damage, we get health regen back from it. Once all that's sorted out, I'm ready to set out for Diamond City and begin the main quest. Heading to Diamond City wasn't all that interesting. I mainly ran straight there from Sanctuary. I did end up getting lost a little bit and ran into a Mr. Gutsy and then shot out by raiders while running away, so that was fun. But after a few wrong turns, I was able to get to Diamond City and enter the gate by somehow skipping Piper's dialogue. In the back of Diamond City, we can find Nick Valentine's office to have the robot help me find my son, but he's been botnapped, so we need to go rescue him. While the citizens are distracted with a murder, I steal some Rad-X, which is a huge help in this run. Selling some junk and weapons picked up along the way right now allows us to use the doctor to remove radiation, as Radaway is expensive and really scarce right now. For level 5, I take Rad Resistant for plus 10 Rad Resist, which reduces the damage taken by 5. Something I want to point out is the fact that the animation of the weapon being charged is extremely broken and will sometimes just not show up at all. Continuing through downtown Boston, avoiding the dogs and ghouls, we arrive at Park Street Station. Down in Park Street Station is where this run shot up in difficulty. Not only was the weapon super hard to aim with the head blocking a third of my screen, the Triggermen with their sub-machine guns turn us into Swiss cheese rather quickly. In the first room alone, we were pretty much just stuck at this door trying to clear each one out. Once again, the damage is great, but I pretty much can only get 1 shot off before having to back away before getting swarmed. Each shot we missed increases our chances of death, so we had to make our shots count cause if we missed, we were just taking unnecessary damage. Quite a few deaths later, I was luckily able to clear out the first room and have a chance to breathe. Down below, we can enter the large train car room, and there's a lot more triggermen here, but luckily we do have an advantage as there's more room to move around in. We cleared out second try, and we need to move on to the last 3 guys right before the vault door. But, slight problem, I have no health. If I fire too many shots, I'll just flat out die, so I have to make my shots count. Luckily, I find a RadAway nearby, so I have a little bit more leniency. My biggest issue with this final room was lack of cover. We could always take one out, but the other 2 would swarm me right after. Death after death, shot after shot, I finally got them with my last possible shot. At this point, I had gotten to level 6, so I take Gunslinger for 20% more damage. Without any RadAway, I couldn't continue to save Nick at this moment, so I looted all the triggermen and stole the guns and ammo for 3 whole RadAway. Using the remaining caps, I heal my rads at the doctor and prepare to head back down to Park Street. With a full health bar and some RadAway, we can take on the few scattered enemies out in the hallways. However, in this large room, we once again have minimal cover, and with the enemies being far away, it's hard for us to aim with all the other issues of aiming in first person. But that's right, there's third person. And with it, the issues of aiming are gone, as now we have a sight telling us exactly where the laser's going to be. This is where the real game begins. With our newfound strat, we clear out the room with ease and take Dino out in just 2 shots. With Nicky saved, all we need to do is progress backwards to escape. Nick provides a good distraction as we shortly make it back to the beginning. Skinny Malone was easy by taking cover behind this red crate. We can easily take him out, and that means we successfully rescued Nick Valentine. In Diamond City, we saw a loot for more meds. I yap away at Nick about some missing kid, blah blah, Kellogg, blah blah. We're forced to steal his house key from the mayor and only find some cigarettes. So of course this is enough to track him down through the entire wasteland. Yeah, makes sense I suppose. At level 7, I take Medic for better RadAway and stim packs. Inside the fort, we apply the same strategy we did in Park Street of staying in cover to charge the weapon, then peek and repeat. We were incredibly squishy, and 3 shots from a basic synth would just absolutely kill us. But with Nick being a distraction, it gives us a good safety net between life and death. A tip for trying this run out, you should be checking bathrooms for med boxes which commonly contain RadAway and RadX. We reached level 8 right before Kellogg, and I take Gunslinger rank 2 for 40% more damage. For Kellogg, I employ the shoot first, ask questions later strat. Kellogg and his synths go down in only 2 shots, and even while invisible, Nick runs up to him letting me know where he is for a free final shot. After looting his ash pile, we head outside and oh my god! Is that the Brotherhood of Steel? No way. Oh my god. Oh my god. They're in this game? Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh my god. But back in Diamond City, I do the routine of trading guns and armor for stim packs, RadAway, and RadX, slowly building up a sturdy supply. Since I didn't ask questions and shot first, we had to head into Good Neighbor, enter Kellogg's mind, and oh my god, it's so boring. Every time. I should have asked questions. I shouldn't have shot first. Whatever. After we reach level 9 and take Lifegiver for more health, we needed to find Virgil, as he's a runaway Institute scientist who knows how to build a way in and out of the Institute. On the edges of the sea, I take RadX and start hauling ass towards Virgil. And it was as interesting as the glowing sea can be. Ghouls, rads, scorpions, ghouls, and more rads. Sneaking past the Deathclaw and into the cave, Virgil says we need a Corsair chip for him to build a schematic. I hit level 10 and end up taking Aqua Girl for a no rad buildup in water. If you listen to enough Beethoven, you'll end up at Green Tech. True fact, look it up. I really enjoy this mission actually. The process of going floor by floor, flying through gunners is so fun to me. But really, the main strategy hasn't changed, and it's actually just gotten easier with more RadAway and higher rad resistance. We were cleaning out the floors with ease and a lot of quick saves. Before I knew it, I was at the Corsair, and ouch. Alright, stop. Alright, that's cut it out. Stop. Fucking hell. I reached level 11 and took Lifegiver again. We need to get the chip decoded, and that means seeking out the railroad. I have my suspicions that they aren't going to take too kindly to me using a robot's head as a weapon, however. Following their secret trail leads to the old church, where at the bottom we can find a puzzle. Whatever could it be? Surely you wouldn't be stupid enough to make the password of your organization name, would you? Oh, you would? I'm not mad, just a little disappointed. We get the chip decoded and flee, because I'm not going to side with a bunch of robot synthesizers. I like using technology for my own gain. If only there was a faction exactly like that. Oh, wait! Paladin Danse and his team is located at Cambridge Police Station, fending off some ghouls, so I lend a hand, albeit not a good one. Once level 12, I took Endurance 10, and we talked to Danse about heading to ArcJet to get a signal booster. I let Danse lead the way. Once inside, I used both the synths for cover, as I used the same strategy, back and forth Hagen of staying in cover from the synths. However, I was starting to play much more confidently, and honestly, I think it's the way this run should be played, as it's so much more fun than waiting for the right time to attack. I move at my own pace, and after melting Danse in the Easy Bake Oven, I pick up the transmitter and join up with the Brotherhood afterwards. At level 13, I take Rad Resistant rank 2, and Danse lets us ride shotgun up to the Prydwen, so we fly to the airport to begin initiation. We listen to Smolder Maxson talk about the Brotherhood's goal for the Commonwealth. He accepts us into the Brotherhood, and afterwards we head to Fort Strong to clear it out of super mutants. We use the Vertebrate's machine gun to take a few of the ones out on the ground, including the Behemoth. At this point in the run, I was comfortably using Rad-X due to the amount we've found and higher grade weapons I've been finding and selling. Danse takes most of the aggro again, and I pick the super mutants off. Inside is about the same, just hunting down the mutants and letting Danse take aggro. At level 14, I take Idiot Savant rank 2 and head back to the Prydwen for the next mission. Smolder tells us to talk to Ingram and prepare for construction of the teleporter. Luckily, I had everything I needed besides the biometric scanner, which I bought in Diamond City. With the teleporter ready, Smolder wants us to go find a scientist that was once with the Brotherhood. This father guy yaps away, blah blah. Oh my god, he's my son? No way! I want to team up with the Institute for now, so I meet all the leaders and totally don't save scum to get Dr. Lee back to the Brotherhood. For level 15 and 16, I take Gunslinger rank 3 and solar powered. The Brotherhood was starting reconstruction on Liberty Prime, so they sent me, a lone soldier with no armor, to go get the rest of the parts. After getting Spawn killed, we head to the hospital to pick up the first part. The hospital was controlled by more super mutants, so it wasn't anything special. Once we built the magnets, we had to go look for the nukes, and that means more glowing sea, my favorite! A bit of a buggy mess, and level 17 later, we get access to the bunker inside. There's really just some ghouls, so the biggest threat was the glowing sea itself. Once we get the nukes, Danse suspiciously stays behind and lets us go back alone. On the Prydwen, Smolder Maxson tells us Danse is a synth and wants us to kill him, so I make him 5'8" for his crimes. Though, I really don't want to kill Danse, so I track him down and try and talk him through his issues, but he doesn't care and I have to give him the Assaultron experience. I took perks 18 and 19 off camera, so I can't remember what I got, except I got Cannibal for one of the levels for whatever reason. Level 20, however, was Lifegiver rank 3. Next up, we had to derail the railroad. That should have been the quest name. Just saying, it should have been. It's perfect. It makes perfect sense. This is a super threatening group, so surely they'd give us a knight or something. Nope, just 3 squires. Just 3 squires for the entire railroad. Alright, fine. The railroaders go down in 1 or 2 shots, depending on the armor. In the basement, we have to deal with Glory and her minigun. We really have no cover, and the minigun will turn us into even finer Swiss cheese. So what I end up doing is leaving, which de-aggroes the railroad, so we can sneak back in and try to quickly take Glory down, and this happened. Gotta love Fallout. With the rest of the railroad falling swiftly after, we reprogram Pam and prepare for our last quest. To power up Liberty Prime, we need to get the power source from mass fusion. Ingram flies us in, and we relive one of our favorite memories of dance, while killing the synths atop the building. For level 21, I took Lone Wanderer. Once the elevator started working, it was a pretty safe descent down to the bottom, only needing a few heals. At the bottom, we can get a few anti-rat supplies by telling Ingram we don't have any of our own. The room is highly irradiated, so we need to use a Rad-X, and even with this one on, it's still killing us like we were shooting off our weapon every second. The security lockdown had started, and that means robots have come out to play, so the only logical thing to do is take some fun candy and let Ingram take aggro for everything else while I hide. With Liberty Prime powered, we need to protect it all the way to... No? No we don't? Alright, sure, whatever. We can sit back and let the Brotherhood take care of most of this, and once inside we can... Yeah, let the Brotherhood take care of most of it. Sean lets us use his computer to disable the synths, not to bring any more harm to the Institute. Just kidding, we blow the entire thing up. You know the routine by now. I come in after every video. This video was a lot harder to make, not just because it was, a hard run or anything. It actually got pretty easy towards like the middle and end, to where I finished the second half of the game in like one sitting. But it was mainly the script writing part and editing that was really hard to nail down. I'm not super happy with it, with like the pacing and whatnot, because it's really different to edit for something new. I'm used to editing Dark Souls runs, and now switching up the Fallout 4 run, it's a much different game, so it's much different to write for. Like my Dark Souls 2 one, the Chaos Blade Only, that one. I wrote that in, that was like my longest script yet, and I wrote it in 3 days because it was just kind of clicking and flowing with me, especially towards the end. I knew the words to say, it kind of just came out, but this run I had to stop and think, analyze the footage multiple times to figure out what I wanted to say, and even then it was really hard because a lot of the encounters were the same. And I'm used to talking about the encounters with bosses, whereas most encounters, if not all of them, were practically the same in this run. So that was a really weird challenge, but it's good for me to branch out. I will do more runs of other games, regardless of how this one does. More Fallout runs, probably. We'll just see what else. I do have some Dark Souls runs in the works. Next video will be a little bit different. It will not be a challenge run video. It'll be its own kind of separate video. Mainly because I don't have any footage for challenge runs. I'm all out. I'm dried up. I had to finish that other half of the Fallout run in one sitting because I had no footage. So I had to cut my 2-day break I usually take short to finish that run. But I can't do that this time. My other runs are going to take way too fucking long to do. So... And I realize I'm going to cut that out because I try and censor my swears. Whoops. But not much else to say. I'll leave everyone to have their good days. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.